What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and we are in the kind of the doldrums of the news cycle, which is, I think, why you see a lot of infighting and situations like this, or where, big things are made bigger than they really are. But I did not foresee Candace Owens versus the Babylon Bee on my bingo card to ring in the end of 2024, but this is a wild fight over what appears to be a joke. Look, I think Candace Owens has done some excellent work. I think the Babylon Bee is very funny. I really have no dog in this fight. I do think Candace is being a little sensitive about a joke, but maybe not. Maybe because there may be a little bit more meaning there might be a little more teeth behind this joke given who it's coming from. But let's look at how this all shook out. By the way, I'm trying really hard to get my live stream channel. If you're a YouTube only viewer, my live stream channel to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We live stream every day at 1 Eastern. You can watch it live or you can watch it later with Hannah Claire, Styx Hexenhammer, Luke Rutkowski, Gothics, Melanie Mack, a whole cast and crew that is here live. And I hope that you'll follow Quartercast and you'll tune in. I mean, ultimately, I prefer you download the Rumble app and you watch me on Rumble. But I do want you to tune in. And don't forget, today, this whole week, other than New Year's Eve, we will also be live at 8 Eastern, filling in for Tim Pool's time slot. So if you're looking for your nightly news, please do tune in at night. Candace Owens versus the Babylon Bee, ex-Daily Wire pundit ends year with curious attack on Christian humor site. The popular pundit parted ways with the Daily Wire, a contentious split that drew headlines for what wasn't said as much as what was. Owens and platform co-founder Ben Shapiro publicly sparred over Israel stuff and related matters leading to the split. It got uglier from there. Owens' critics slammed her as anti-Semitic for her staunch anti-Israel views, with one U.S.-based advocacy group christening her as Anti-Semite of the Year. She vehemently denies the charges and has plenty of support on social media. Now, I have noticed a rise in conversation around things that Israel is doing, and that's probably because of the war and things going on right now. But I've never been somebody who is deeply educated on every little thing Israel does, and I'm more concerned with what goes on in the United States, which you might argue has something to do with them, and you'd probably be right, but I'm just not as educated on the topic. I thought her kind of expose on the USS Liberty was really interesting and really informative and things like that, and I'm definitely getting more educated on stuff. Her latest kerfuffle was a public spat with the Babylon Bee. The right-leaning humor site seems an odd villain for Owens to pursue. The fake news outlet is beloved by most conservatives and routinely pokes fun at fellow Christians and Republicans, is far less likely to skewer President Donald Trump, but it's not immune to tweaking the former and future leader. Trump worried everyone will quit before he can tell them you're fired, is a joke they made. Why would Owens have a beef with the site? For starters, she thinks the site does not make jokes at the expense of Jews, which is not true. She also claims the website isn't funny as it once was. Now, that's subjective. I got to be honest with you, not really a Babylon Bee guy. Not that I like nothing it. I think I see their headlines and I'm like, heh, I don't read it every day. Again, I'm not loyal to either side here. I don't really hate either side. I don't really like either side. I feel like the Babylon Bee is one of the big reasons Elon bought X. And despite, Elon's recent missteps, I'm still glad he bought X. It's still far better than it could have been. They wrote, so they never make jokes about Jews. That's part of the feedback. We aren't asking for it to be censored. We're asking for it to be funny. No one asked for Alec Baldwin to be censored on SNL. We just think he was funny and noticed he was sort of an angry man. So then they post, so she gets community noted on this to several articles, apparently, where the Babylon Bee made, earthquake as Jews dig tunnels too deep and unearth Balrog. I mean, that's pretty spicy joke, I would say. And Frank Museum closed to tourists as 1,000 Jews hiding in attic. Again, pretty spicy. This is from 2024. This isn't exactly ancient history. The tunnels thing, I think, was last year. Yep, this is 2024. So they absolutely do make jokes at their expense. Although I will say, mainstream media and, everybody else makes jokes at Christians' expense all day, every day. And I certainly they probably aren't making fun of Muslims either. Are we required to think that the Babylon Bee is funny when they take so many shots at Christians, mock Mary, and then go, it's just a joke? We can take a joke. Maybe their writers can learn to take an opinion. People are simply aren't finding them as funny as they used to be. And she certainly has support on that tweet. The joke here, of course, was Candace Owens horrified to learn Christmas was started. Hello, Hawk. I know. Was started by the birth of a Jew. Obviously, a play on her, criticism that she has an issue with Jewish people and things like that. Later, the platform's CEO, Seth Dillon, weighed in. The incredible irony of responding to this joke with a conspiratorial claim about our agenda. How is this even real? Candace Owens wrote, everyone is just starting to see the agenda behind your, quote, jokes. Hope this helps. Seth Dillon writes, Babylon Bee, it's funny how obsessed Candace is with Jews. Also, Candace, that's not funny because it isn't true. Also, I've noticed you never make fun of Jews. We can all see your real agenda. I mean, both could probably be true. I think that there's room for legitimate criticism of things that Netanyahu does and things that they're involved with. I think that you don't have to have a problem with Jewish people to point out that it's odd how much money they invest, how intertwined the United States' government and their decisions are with them. I'm pretty much an isolationist. I don't want to be, funding forever wars and making, enemies with Terrys because we're, constantly, sending more bombs to Israel and all this kind of stuff. But then you can go into the, it's a tough spot to be. Criticizing Christians is widely accepted and even promoted by mainstream media, where criticizing Judaism certainly isn't. And you can also wade into some pretty dark waters there, at least if you spend any time on X. Conservatives have railed against late night TV shows for years, citing as hard left bias. The latter is undoubtedly true, but sites like Babylon Bee rarely get targeted by right-leaning pundits. Owen changed that. It remains to be seen if the Bee will continue mocking Owens. I suspect they will. It's free press. In the new year, move on to different targets. As for Owens, picking a high-profile fight helps her glean more attention. No matter no one's stance or the jokes in question. Suffice to say, we likely won't see her rejoin the Babylon Bee in the new year. She was on the Babylon Bee podcast. I don't know who runs that. They recently asked me to be on their podcast. I said I'd be happy to. Just like again, that doesn't mean I'm converting to Judaism or whatever. I don't know. Like I pick no sides. I'm just trying to grow my own channel. Update: the feud continues. Now Candace Owens wants to return the Bee podcast to debate the site on its comedy practices. Again, this is boredom, I would guess. Seth Dillon writes, when we joked about Vivek, he laughed about it and leaned into it, then sat down with us to talk about the need for us to take ourselves less seriously and lose our hunger for sanctimony. He's an impressive guy all around, but this moment really stood out. Candace Owens writes, is this an invitation for me to come on your podcast and discuss your really funny jokes? Because if so, I fully accept. I think it would be illuminating discussion for the public to understand why I simply do not like the way you move behind the scenes. Well, is it the jokes or is there more to it? I've often described, Candace Owens as a bit conspiratorial, but more often than not, she does seem to have the receipts. So I don't know what to think. So then she says, you let me know, Seth. 2025 should be an illuminating year for the public, and a discussion between you could be a terrific contribution. Here's Kyle saying the way I move behind the scenes, and These apparently be to be Jews dancing. Myron Gaines weighing in. Yeah, he thought that his subtle blows about a very controversial topic were funny or just a joke, when in reality, he's trying to paint you as an anti-Semite, which also hurts your credibility in a world where media is run by certain groups of people. I don't know if you can really ascribe malice here. It is a funny joke, I think. Yeah, it's obviously a touchy subject, though, because, if you get that label, if the machine is able to successfully label you as that, it will hurt your career. Like, it's just the truth. That it's so she is right to probably be pissed about that. I assume, because if they're trying to hurt her advertising deals or, any kind of things like that, she would probably be pissed off. But I don't think you can look at one joke and say they're trying to destroy her career. Like, I don't know if I buy all that. I think that's probably going a little bit too far. You say, come on, Seth Dillon, debate. And then Candace says, not even debate, a discussion about his company and jokes, which will help clarify the matter to the public. He's publicly representing that this is all just satire and nothing more. And I'm stating that I know this to not be truthful. Daylight is always the best disinfectant. So what Candace is asserting is that he meant to ascribe malice to his joke. And maybe that's true. That's a pretty bold claim that, they would be trying to destroy her career. It's, I think the joke's pretty funny, but I also don't know what Candace knows, apparently. So it'll be interesting to see if these two go at it. More infighting on the right, probably because we're all bored and the left is all on vacation, recharging. I would argue that this probably isn't worth pursuing, but Candace doesn't listen to me. So it'll be interesting to see who you got. Is it just a harmless joke, or did they try and ruin her career? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Please do remember to subscribe to Quartercast and tune in Monday through Friday at 1 Eastern or later. And remember, all this week I'll also be live at 8 Eastern, filling in for Tim Pool on my main channel, on the Quartering channel. But I do hope that you'll follow Quartercast, because that's where the show will move permanently. We'll talk to you again real soon.